We've got a big game on the tabletop today as the 1935 Chicago Cubs host the 1946 Boston Red Sox. The Cubs, we are late in the season. This is week 8 out of 9. And as you look at the standings, the Cubs are in first place, the 15-9 record. They have 8 games left in their season. Everybody else near the top, they only have 4 games left in their season. So the Cubs here looking to win this series against the Red Sox, and the Red Sox down towards the bottom with an 11-13 record. The Cubs needing to win this series to remain in first place as once all the teams have 4 games left. They are hoping to not follow the lead of the Brooklyn Dodgers. The Dodgers and the Cubs began week number 8 tied with 15-9 records, and the Dodgers laid an egg. They were swept by the 1931 Philadelphia Athletics. The Athletics, they were 11-13, just like the Red Sox. And now the Athletics and Dodgers are both tied at 15-13. The Yankees, they have yet to play here in week 8, so they have the bye in week number 9. So the Cubs will do whatever they do here, and then the the Yankees will have to try to they'll see where the Cubs are at, and they'll have to try to beat the Cubs because the Yankees only have these 4 games left, again coming up against the St. Louis Cardinals. So those are the stakes, and we've got a good one today with 2 of the best pitchers in the league, Dave Ferriss for the Red Sox, Lon Warneke for the Cubs. Let's meet the full starting lineups. First for the visiting Red Sox, leading off and playing shortstop, it's Johnny Pesky. Second baseman's Bobby Doerr. Left field, it's Ted Williams. First baseman is Rudy York. Center fielder is Dom DiMaggio. Right fielder, George Metkovich. The catcher, Hal Wagner. Third baseman is Rip Russell. And the starting pitcher, Dave Ferriss. Ferriss leads the league with a 0.74 earned run average. He's one of just a couple of starting pitchers in the league who are unbeaten with a 5-0 record. Ferriss, unfortunately, in his last starting against the Brooklyn Dodgers, hit by a line drive in the 4th inning, so he had to exit the game. He had his first no decision of the year, just went 3 2/3 innings, gave up 3 hits and no runs. So Ferriss just has been unbelievable. He and Kurt Davis were the last 2 pitchers with perfect records. Davis would go to 6-0, but then Davis lost this week when the Dodgers were swept by the Athletics. So Ferriss, 5-0 in 6 starts, and just one of a couple of unbeaten starters, as I said. For the Cubs, leading off and playing left field, it's Augie Galan. Second baseman's Billy Herman. Right fielder is Chuck Klein. Hitting cleanup behind the plate, Gabby Hartnett. Center fielder, Frank Demery. Third baseman, Stan Hack. First baseman's Phil Cavaretta. Shortstop is Billy Jurgis. And the starting pitcher for the Cubs, Lon Warneke. And Warneke, he is 5-1 after 6 starts, a 2.08 earned run average. Warneke and Ferriss both with 5 wins, tying them for second in the league at the moment. Warneke's 2.08 ERA ranks him 7th in the league. He's coming off a complete game win against the St. Louis Cardinals. He gave up 4 hits, 1 run, no walks, and struck out 7. The 46 Red Sox, they won 104 games. They would lose in the World Series to the St. Louis Cardinals. The 1935 Cubs, they won 100 games. They lost in the World Series due to the Detroit Tigers. These are the 2 best hitting teams in the league, but the Cubs have been better, far better than everybody. Cubs have a team average of 269. Red Sox 20 points behind at 249. The Cubs have 3 of the top 4 hitters in the league in Frank Demery, Billy Herman, and Chuck Klein. And the Cubs ERA, team ERA coming into this one, second in the league at 2.95. Red Sox about a little more than a half run a game worse. They're 6th in the league at 3.51. But Ferriss versus Warneke, two pitchers who have been very good to this point, as the Cubs trying to stay in first place, the Red Sox trying to play spoiler. Let's play ball. Leading off for Boston in the top of the first, it's Johnny Pesky. Pesky's batting .277 on the season. He gets things started with a base hit into left field. Pesky is aboard. And that brings up Bobby Doerr, and Doerr has been one of the league's top hitters. He is batting .329, and ranks him 5th in the league. He's tied for the team high with 6 home runs, which ties him for 4th in the league. He's 2nd on the team with 20 runs batted in, tying him for 3rd in the league. So runner on first, nobody out for Doerr. 16 is a 28. That will be a slow roller toward the shortstop. Jurgis charges, picks it up. His only play is to first. He does get the out. Pesky advances to second. Here is Ted Williams. Williams is batting .298. He has hit 6 home runs, tied for the team high, tied for 4th in the league, tied with Doerr. And Williams has scored 24 runs in 24 games. That ranks him 1st in the league. 1 out, runner on second for Williams. 53 is a 16. That's going to be a single up the middle. They're going to try to wave Johnny Pesky home. Frank Demery comes up throwing. Is his play at the plate. Demery's throw is in time. Johnny Pesky is called out. Williams advances to second on the throw. 2 hits already for the Red Sox, but nothing to show for it. 2 outs now for Rudy York. York is batting 2nd on the team with a .314 average. That ranks him 8th in the league. He's coming off a great series against Brooklyn where he hit .500. So York with 2 outs, 14's a 30, fly ball to left, routine. Galan has it for the 3rd out. So the Red Sox miss on a chance to score in the top of the first as a runner is thrown out at home. So it's 0-0 going to the bottom of the first. Augie Galan to lead things off for the Cubs. Galan batting .281 this season. And a 55 is an 8, but against Ferriss, the B pitcher, that's just a line drive into center field, and it'll be caught by DiMaggio for the 1st out. Billy Herman, he ranks 2nd on the team and 2nd on the in the league with a .364 average. 63 is a 31. This will just be a fly ball to center, caught by DiMaggio for the 2nd out. Here's Chuck Klein. Klein 3rd on the team with a .344 average. That ranks him 4th in the league overall. He is also, like Doerr and Williams, he has 6 home runs, tied for 4th in the league. He's tied for 3rd with 20 runs batted in. So nobody on, 2 outs for Klein. 32 is a 26, bouncer right side, fielded by the 2nd baseman Doerr. Throws him out, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Dave Ferriss. On to the top of the 2nd for the Red Sox. Dom DiMaggio leads things off. DiMaggio is batting .281. He leads the league with 22 runs batted in. And DiMaggio, 13's a 14. DiMaggio leads off the 2nd with a walk. George Metkovich comes to the plate. Metkovich is batting .212 on the season. 66 is a 0. He'll roll on his 2nd column. 4 home runs in 1946, but he's already got 3 here so far this season. 52 is an 11. And that is a base hit into right field. Tom DiMaggio will go from first to third. And then on the first pitch to Hal Wagner, Metcavich steals second. His first stolen base of the season. So the Red Sox have something going here. Runners on second and third, nobody out. Hal Wagner is the batter. Wagner is batting just 200 this season. Had a rough time in the last series against Brooklyn. 1 hit and 9 at bats, but he did draw 8 walks. So here is Wagner. Infield will play say deep. Well, actually, it won't. 43 is a 29. Won't matter here, as that is a bouncer back to the pitcher. Warneke has it. DiMaggio stays put at third base. Warneke throws over to first for the first out. Here is Rip Russell. Russell, a team worst 178 batting average. We will play them deep this time. 54 is a 32. 32 is an X. Warneke has the X. Warneke strikes out Russell for the second out. And now with 2 outs, the pitcher, Dave Ferriss, comes to the plate. Ferriss, 2 hits in 15 at-bats this season. Can he help himself here? Warneke's pitch is a 15, and that is a 9. But against the B pitcher with 2 outs, Warneke strikes out Ferriss. He gets out of the jam. The Red Sox put runners on second and third with nobody out. Can't bring a run home. So we go to the bottom of the second, no score. Here's Gabby Hartnett for the Cubs to lead things off. Hartnett's batting .237 on the season. He's second on the team with 5 home runs. 54 is a 32. Fly ball to right. George Metcavich tracks it down, 1 out. Here's Frank Demery. He is the league's top hitter with a .375 batting average. But he has been slumping the last couple of weeks. He was hitting around 450 at the midway point of the season. It's now dropped about 8 games after about 8 games down to 375. So he and teammate Billy Herman in close contention for the batting title, but a lot can happen in the season's final 8 games. But as we said, Demery, .375 average. He'll come to the plate, nobody out, nobody on, 1 out. 16 is a 28, ground ball up the middle. Pesky's able to get to it, throws over to first for the second out. Here's Stan Hack. Hack is hitting .279. And that 31's a 9. That will be hit the opposite way into left, fall in front of Ted Williams for a base hit. First hit of the game for the Cubs. So a runner on with 2 outs. Phil Cavaretta. Cavaretta is hitting a team worst 170. And just 2 hits and 16 at-bats in the last series against the Cardinals. 31's a 9, though, and that'll be a base hit. Back-to-back singles. Hack will stop at second. First and second, 2 outs for Billy Jurgis. Jurgis is hitting .202 on the season. Can he come through here? 35's a 22. That's hit back to the pitcher, but Ferriss has all kinds of trouble with it. He bobbles it, he picks it up, he tries to throw it, he drops it again, and that's going to load the bases on the error by the pitcher. Now, last inning, the Red Sox needed Dave Ferriss to do something with 2 outs. He failed. Here is Lon Warneke with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Warneke, 2 hits in 15 at-bats this season. Can he help himself? Nope, 52's a 27. and that is going to be a ground ball to the third baseman, Rip Russell, and that will be the third out. Both teams missing chances so far. After 2 innings, there's no score. Both sides have left 3 runners on base to this point. Back to the top of the order for the Red Sox, Johnny Pesky. He singled his first time up. 45's a 14. Pesky reaches base again, this time via a walk. Here's Bobby Doerr. He is 0 for 1. 65 is a 35. Pops it straight up, drifting into foul territory. Taken by the catcher, Gabby Hartnett, for the first out. Ted Williams singled his first time up, but on that single, Pesky was thrown out at home. What's he doing his second at-bat? 65, again a 35, another foul out to the catcher Hartnett, and that's the second out. It's Rudy York, 0 for 1. 13's a 14. Warneke has the Z, ball 1, ball 2. But 45, also a 14, ball 3, ball 4. So 2 walks issued this inning by Warneke. Now there are runners on first and second. We've got a runner in scoring position for the top RBI man in the league, Dom DiMaggio. He walked his first time up. DiMaggio, 12's a 25. Ground ball to short. Jurgis has it. And that will result in the third out. 2 more runners left on base by the Red Sox. Go to the bottom of the third, still no score. Top of the order for the Cubs, Augie Galland leads things off. He's 0 for 1. 66, that's a 0. He'll roll on his second column. 12 home runs in 1935. And a 32 is a 6, so Galland will belt one into right center field. It'll roll to the wall, walk into second base with a double. Galland's 7th double of the season. Here is Billy Herman, second best hitter in the league, 0 for 1 today. 45 is a 14, first base is open. Ferriss walks Herman. Now the runners on first and second, nobody out. Chuck Klein. Klein came into today with a 344 average. He's 0 for 1. 31's a 9, and that is a base hit. Galland will stop at third, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. Oh, I know it's early, but the Red Sox will bring the infield in for Hartnett, who is 0 for 1. He's driven in 14 runs this season. 42 is a 9 against the B pitcher. That's a base hit into right. Galland will score the game's first run. They're going to hold Billy Herman at third. An RBI single for Galland. An RBI single for Hartnett. It's 1-0 Cubs here in the bottom of the third. There's still nobody out. A double, a walk, a single, a single. So far here in the third. And here is the league's top hitter, Frank Demery, who is 0 for 1. Infield in. 12's a 25. Comebacker to the pitcher. Ferriss has it. Throws home to Wagner. Wagner tags home plate. Throws to first. In time to get Demery. Double play. So, not great for the Cubs, but they do still have runners on second and third with 2 outs for Stan Hack. Hack has 15 runs batted in the season. He was among the league leaders early in the year, cooled off a bit. Can he add to his total here? 31's a 9 against the B pitcher with 2 outs. That's a strikeout. Ferriss fans hack to end the inning. So could have been a lot worse for the Red Sox, but they do give up just the 1 run. Hartnett RBI single. It is 1-0 Cubs after 3. Top of the 4th for the Red Sox, 6, 7, 8 hitters. George Metcovich to lead off. He singled his first time up. 23 is a 12 ground ball at the third baseman Stan Hack. He fields it cleanly, throws across the diamond, 1 out. It's Hal Wagner, who is 0 for 1. 13's a 14. Wagner, we mentioned, he walked 8 times in the last series against Brooklyn. He has walked here again today. Runner on first, 1 out. There's Rip Russell. He struck out last time up, but 66 is a 0. He'll roll in his second column. 6 home runs in 1946. A 26 is a 6, and that's going to be hit down the right field line. Stays in fair territory, goes to the corner. Hal Wagner is not fast. He will stop at third base. The Red Sox are threatening again. Runners on second and third with 1 out after the Russell double. Here's the pitcher, Dave Ferriss. Cubs will go infield in, sure. Feels like runs are going to be a premium in this one. 46 is a 29. Hit back to the pitcher, Warneke. Wagner stays put. Warneke throws over to first. Gets the out. Now runners on second and third with 2 outs for Johnny Pesky. He has reached base both times. Singled his first time up, then walked. Pesky finished 4th in the AL MVP voting in 1946. He's got just 7 runs batted in the first 24 games of the season. Can he come through here with 1 or 2? Yes, he will. 66 is a 0. He had 2 home runs in 1946. Red Sox should take the lead here, though. 21 is a 6. That's a double to right. Wagner scores. Russell scores. A 2-run double for Johnny Pesky. And the Red Sox lead 2-1. Pesky's 8th and 9th runs batted in of the season. And we have a runner on second, 2 outs for Bobby Doerr. Doerr 3rd in the AL MVP voting in 1946. 46 is a 13. Warneke strikes out Doerr to end the inning. The Red Sox score twice thanks to Johnny Pesky. It's 2-1 going to the bottom of the 4th. 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Cubs, beginning with Phil Cavarretta. He singled his first time up. 25 is an 8, but against the B pitcher. Well hit ball to center. DiMaggio has it for the first out. Here's Billy Jurgis, reached base on an error. 52 is a 27, ground ball to the third baseman Russell. Fires over to first, 2 away. Here's the pitcher Warneke, who's 0 for 1. 51's a 9, and Lon Warneke loops one into left field. Pesky can't quite get to it. It's going to fall in for a hit. And Lon Warneke, a 2-out single. Here's Augie Galland, 1 for 2, doubled his last time up. 23 is a 12. Ground ball to the second baseman Doerr. He'll throw over to first for the 3rd out. We go to the 5th. 2-1 Boston. Red Sox have 2 runs on 5 hits. The Cubs 1 run on 6 hits. Both teams have left 6 runners on base at this point. Here is Ted Williams to lead things off in the top of the 5th. Williams, MVP in 1946. He hit .342 with 38 home runs. Pretty amazing numbers considering that was his first year back after 3 years in World War II. Williams is 1 for 2 today. And now he is 2 for 3. 44 is a 7. He belts one into right field for a single. Rudy York is 0 for 1 with a walk. 55 is an 8 against the B pitcher. That's going to be a slow roller left side. Stan Hack charges in, picks it up, only plays to first. He does get the out. Williams advances to second base. Dom DiMaggio, another chance for an RBI here. He's got 22 on the season. Started the week number 1 in the league. He's 0 for 1 with a walk today. Can he add to the Red Sox lead? 42 is a 14. First base is open. DiMaggio gets his second walk of the game. First and second, 1 out for Metkovich. He is 1 for 2. 21 is a 30. Fly ball to left field. Galan has it. Runners stay put. 2 outs. It's Hal Wagner, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. 55 is an 8, but against the B pitcher, ground ball to the third baseman, Stan Hack, and he gets the out at first to end the inning. The Red Sox strand 2 more. They've left 8 on base after 5 innings. For the Cubs in the bottom of the 5th, 2, 3, 4 hitters, starting with Billy Herman. Herman, 4th in the NL MVP voting in 1935 with a .341 average, is 0 for 1 with a walk today. 14's a 30. Fly ball to left. Ted Williams has it for the first out. Here is Chuck Klein, 1 for 2. 25 is an 8, but against the B pitcher, that's just a fly ball to center field for the second out. Here's Gabby Hartnett, MVP of the 1935 National League with his .344 batting average and 13 home runs. 1 for 2 in this game. 26 is a 13. Ferriss strikes out Hartnett. Ferriss gets a 1-2-3 inning. On to the 6th. Red Sox still lead 2-1. 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Boston. Here's Rip Russell, 1 for 2 with a double. 46 is a 27. There's an X. Warneke strikes out Russell. Here's Dave Ferriss, the pitcher, 0 for 2. 64 is a 13. Warneke strikes out Ferriss. Johnny Pesky, they have not gotten him out today. A single, a walk, and a 2-run double in the 4th inning. This time, though, 26 is a 30. That's a fly ball to left. And for the first time, Pesky is retired on the flyout. 3 up, 3 down for Warneke. Bottom 6. 5, 6, 7 hitters for Chicago. Frank Demery to lead things off. Came into this one hitting a team best .375, but he is 0 for 2. His tough day continues. 34 is 31. Fly ball to center. Dom DiMaggio runs it down for the first out. Here's Stan Hack. He is 1 for 2. 22 is a 7, and that is a base hit between the first and second baseman. Gets through the hole. Hack on first with 1 out. Phil Cavarretta. He's 1 for 2. 64 is 13. Ferriss strikes out Cavarretta for the second out. Billy Jurgis is 0 for 2, reached base on an error. 35 is a 22. Jurgis is hit by the pitch. And that puts runners on first and second. And the pitcher, Lon Warneke, comes to the plate. Warneke's 1 for 2. "55 is an 8, but against the B pitcher, ground ball to the third baseman, Rip Russell. He'll get the third out. Ferriss gets out of that, keeps the Red Sox with a 2-1 lead. The Cubs need to find a way to get to Dave Ferriss. They have just the one run so far. Both teams have left 8 runners on base. Both teams have had chances to maybe break this one open, but here we are, 2-1 going to the 7th. Cubs trying to hold on to first place, trying to get through this series, and they've been in the lead for a while, or at least tied for the lead, and they do not want to follow the path of the Dodgers, and who got swept. But of course, this is just game 1, and there's still lots to play. So 2, 3, 4 hitters for Boston. Bobby Doerr to lead things off. He is 0 for 3. 41's a 24. Ground ball to the shortstop, Jurgis. 1 away. There's Ted Williams, who is 2 for 3. 41's a 24. Also grounded to the shortstop. 2 outs. Rudy York 0 for 2 with a walk. 54's a 32. Fly ball to right. Caught by Chuck Klein. Another 1-2-3 inning. After the 7th inning stretch, the Cubs will have the top of the order. Here's Augie Galan, 1 for 3 with a double. 15's an 11. And Galan goes the opposite way, slaps one into left field. It's in there for a base hit. On the first pitch to Billy Herman, Galan takes off and steals second. It's the tying run in scoring position with nobody out. And some big hitters coming up. Beginning with Billy Herman, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. Herman. 34 is a 31. Fly ball to center. It's shallow. Glenn will stay at second. DiMaggio makes the catch. 1 out. Chuck Klein is 1 for 3. 21's a 32. Fly ball to right, but shallow. Metcavich has it for the second out. And are the Cubs going to waste Galan's leadoff double? Here's Gabby Hartnett. He drove in the Cubs' only run of the game with an RBI single in the 3rd inning. He is 1 for 3 today. Ferriss's pitch. 43 is a 29. Ground ball right side. Rudy York has it. Lobs it to Ferriss, covering first in time for the 3rd out. Dave Ferriss, 5-0 with a 0.74 ERA. And he is having another good one here. The Red Sox lead 2-1, going to the top of the 8th. Here is Dom DiMaggio. We got the 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up for Boston. DiMaggio 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. 25 is an 8, but against the B pitcher. Line drive into center field, caught by Demery for the first out. Here's Metcavich, who is 1 for 3. 13's a 14. He will take first base on the walk. Hal Wagner, 0 for 2 with a walk. 52's a 27. an X. Warneke has the X. Warneke strikes out Wagner 2 away. Here's Rip Russell 1 for 3 with a double. He has struck out twice. 62 is a 26. Ground ball to the second baseman, Herman. And they'll get the third out. To the bottom of the eighth. 5, 6, 7 hitters for Chicago. Here is the league's top hitter, Frank Demery, but 0 for 3 today and kind of slumping over the last 8 or 9 games. Demery get things going here for the Cubs, who are down a run and are down to their last 6 outs. 52 is a 27, and that is a bouncer left side taken by the third baseman, Russell. Throws over to first, 1 out. Stan Hack, he is 2 for 3. He's got 2 of the 8 Chicago hits. This time, though, 36 is a 14, and actually that will be a 1-out walk. Phil Cavarretta, he is 1 for 3. Singled his first time up, struck out his last time up. 46 is a 29. And that is going to be just a little dribbler out in front of the plate. Ferriss rushes in, picks it up, throws to first. He gets Cavarretta. Stan Hack advances to second base. Another runner in scoring position for Chicago. But 2 outs, and Billy Jurgis is the batter. 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch last time up. A 64 is a 39. 39. Well, the Cubs made a bad move here. Stan Hack attempts to steal third. Hal Wagner throws him out. And the Cubs just ran into the third out in the bottom of the eighth. Okay. We go to the ninth. The Red Sox come to the plate, still leading 2-1. And here's Dave Ferriss, who is 3 outs away from improving to 6-0 on the season. And they're going to let him hit because he is better than what they have in the bullpen. So they're going to let him finish this one off. Ferriss is 0 for 3. That 13's a 23. That is not going to be good for the Cubs, as that will be hit into center field. And Frank Demery, the center fielder, he's going to drop the fly ball. That is an E8. Ferriss is aboard. Both teams have now made 1 error. Johnny Pesky, he is 2 for 3. He had a 2-run double in the 4th inning for both Boston runs. And Pesky is going to do something big here again. At 11, he'll roll in his second column. 41 is a 6, and that is hit into right field to the wall. Dave Ferriss will stop at third. Johnny Pesky has another double. Now there are runners on second and third. Nobody out. Can Lon Warneke get himself out of this one? With the heart of the Boston order coming up, I might add. Bobby Doerr is 0 for 4. Warneke the Cubs will bring the infield in. 56 is a 34. Pops it up in the infield. Shortstop Jurgis has it. And that's the first out. Here's Ted Williams, who is 2 for 4. A 12 is a 25, and that is about the worst roll you could have if you were a Red Sox fan. A line drive right at the first baseman, Phil Cavarretta. He quickly throws to second base in time to double off Johnny Pesky. Double play, inning over. Bad luck there for the Red Sox. So we go to the bottom of the ninth. Dave Ferriss will look to finish this one off. 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Chicago. Here's Billy Jurgis, 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch. 61's a 24, ground ball at the shortstop. Johnny Pesky, he throws to first. There's one out. Here's the pitcher spot, Warneke. And then we'll bring up the pinch hitter. It'll be Freddie Lindstrom. Lindstrom is 1 for 12 at the plate this season. He hit .275 in 1935. Is Freddie Lindstrom due? 32's a 26, ground ball at the second baseman, Bobby Doerr. There's 2 outs. The Cubs are down to their last out. And it's Augie Galan, the last chance. He's 2 for 4, a double and a single today. 21 is a 30, fly ball to left. Ted Williams has it, and that is the ball game. The 1946 Red Sox defeat the 1935 Cubs 2-1. The Cubs drop to 15 and 10. The Red Sox improved to 12 and 13. So the Cubs are going to need to bounce back. They are going to need they need to win the next 3 to keep sole possession of first place. If they win 2 out of 3, they'll be tied with the Yankees. If they pull a Dodgers and do something worse, that'd be bad news for the Cubs. But well, we had a good pitching matchup here today, and it lived up to billing as final score 2-1. Both teams, though, really missed chances. The Red Sox 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They left 10 runners on base. The Cubs 1 run, 8 hits, 1 error. They left 9 runners on base. The Red Sox, of their 7 hits, Johnny Pesky had 3 of them. He had a pair of doubles. He drove in both Boston runs in the 4th inning with one of those doubles. Ted Williams had a 2-hit game. Rip Russell had a double. Dave Ferriss, he improves to 6-0 after 7 starts. 9 innings, 8 hits, 1 run. It was earned. His ERA began the day at 0.74. I guess it'll go up a little bit. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. For the Cubs, 8 hits, 2-hit games for Galan and Hack. Just 1 extra base hit, a double for Galan. Their run came in the 3rd inning, an RBI single by Gabby Hartnett. Warneke, tough loss to fall to 5-2, 9 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Survived 6 walks, and he struck out 6. So that is all from Game 1 here at Wrigley Field, where the visiting Red Sox have beaten the Cubs 2-1. Games 2, 3, and 4 in this series to come. And if you want to find out what happened in those games, head over to the website rogersportsgames.com, and you can find out the recaps, the box scores, the team stats, and more. And then coming up, the final series of week number 8, the 37 Yankees take on the 1934 St. Louis Cardinals, as the Yankees will wrap up their season and try to put together enough wins to give themselves a chance at the pennant. So that's it from here. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe.